Hello and welcome in. My name is DrumRollTony, and in this video, we're checking out some music from the Vtuber scene, which obviously, I think maybe I've done one or two. I really know nothing about this, but I got sent a message from someone with a song request. They said, hey, this artist, Kizuna AI, has been away for a while, and they're coming back, and their fans are like super hyped up. So I was like, well, what's going on here? Because naturally, I got curious because in performance art, we get burnout. We need sabbaticals. You got to go away, refresh, maybe you get a different gig for a bit, and then you come back. And then when I looked a little bit, I found out she played her last live gig in 2022, and then has been asleep since then, but just recently released a song, and all her fans are kind of like really happy about that and coming for it. So that's pretty cool. I got super curious. I have no clue what I'm about to hear. I'm so ignorant to the VTuber world, so you can educate me. But anyway, this is Kizuna AI. The song is Kamone. I'm excited. Let's go. What is happening? Oh, she's asleep in the monitor. The hiatus. That's good. Nice tie-in. How do you wake? Ooh, nice rhythm deliveries there. All the synth lines are cool underneath too. Ooh. A little variety in the flow there. Nice simple beat underneath. The guitar buried in the sand here. That's cool. Oh, right side keyboard parts are really cool. That's nice. Pre-chorus build, I assume. Oh, cool. Yeah, man. The aesthetics in this it's really fun to watch. Like all the art style, there's like massive variety in the art style too. If I look too hard at a video, I hear less music. Just like if I'm listening super hard, I don't see anything because people are always like, "Oh man, you saw so many spoilers in that." I'm like, "No, I didn't. I was listening to the music. Like my eyes aren't working." Okay, anyway, there's some really cool things all the way back. Like as soon as I figured out what was going on the monitors, like, okay, cool. I already thought this was pretty cool by the rhythmic delivery and the very first opening of the melody. I nerd out about this stuff. I know not everyone does, but yeah, boop beep boop ba. That little hit that goes with that, kind of pushing that off the beat a little bit, and then the response. I mean, most people don't care. I care. I was already thinking, okay, this is kind of cool. But it's the underneath. All the kind of chordal, like borderline arpeggio outline stuff that's going on in the keyboard synths. But then you have this, like, I don't know what effect this is going. It feels very stereo back and forth. But the whole point is it feels very like almost wishy-washy with how it's kind of flowing underneath, which is it's like a taffy foundation that stretches. It has like, it can be complex and pulled and come back, to where it was, which is a very different style of like traditional foundation underneath. All these kind of cool rhythmic articulations going on in the vocal line. So I think that kind of like contrast and how that's put together fits really well with a line like this. Oh, it's cool, man. The right side especially. Yeah, and they do a good job because primarily that melody is kind of focusing around one note. I mean, we embellish, we go above a little bit, we go below a little bit, but you're tonally really focused there. So that's why the rhythm becomes so important. While I was like, oh shit, this is pretty cool. And then you get that like, oh, we're just kind of just moving like in this ocean of sound here. But then it gets a lot more, well, hold on, we'll get there together. Right here, 3, and a little break. Bum, 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 bum. And then right away we switch. We get much more intervallically. You can hear where this melody is going. The speed at which it's being given to you completely changes. We get a nice little light beat that comes in underneath. And it's a lot more like traditional, and that like we lose some of that contrast we had, but we gain more of like a traditional foundation underneath. So that just as far as how much variety we're getting already, I appreciate that from the music design. Still chordal stuff underneath. it just doesn't have that like ocean feeling. It's much more structured. That's really cool. For me, it feels super heavy on the right side. We get some on the left side, but that is a really nice little, just little audio stuff to kind of experience there. Oh yeah, I get it both sides. And the speed of that works really well because it kind of just emphasizes what she's doing vocally with the rhythmic delivery there. I know we've done it twice. Let's just do it one more time. Uno mas, because it's pretty cool. That's cool. Switch it up. That's something we hadn't had. But now, yeah, so a little pre-chorus build. Boom, we had not heard any of that tone of bass. That's new, but then it's the little stuff that it's just buried there. Starts in the right. They're doing a lot with that kind of this, I don't know, the fidelity of this, like kind of bouncing from the right to the left, but it works out really well. Just listen to this little like keyboard percussive stuff that goes on. Here goes 3, 2, 1. So cool. And then we're gonna go 4 on the floor here and kick. We'll keep going. That's fun to listen to. All right, chorus. It's what you'd expect. Works well. Nice guitar playing. Yeah, man, smooth, very danceable. Yeah, the visuals are dope as hell, though. Snoop Dogg, is that you? If you know, you know. Synth bass line is that synth bass line is real nice. Go back to 117 and check that out. Man, there's a Snoop Dogg album though that has a very similar like little line in there, and I think that was a sample from something even before that. But anyway, it's cool. The coolest part, it's the synth bass stuff on the bottom end for me. Coolest part is obviously subjective, but that's where I'm first going to listen down to those low end structures of what's going to be supportive for everything that goes on above it. But we get this presence. There's a guitar player that's a lot more active on the chorus here, which is really cool to hear because we still have that kind of the ocean of sound we talked about with the arpeggios and the synth lines. That's there. And the vocal line on top, it's what you'd expect for this kind of like, the drop in on the chorus. It's very like, this feels very, everyone's gonna be happy, very danceable. Like, it's like a very pleasurable listen, if that makes sense. So I can understand why this is going where it is. Similar intervallic, like as far as like the melody, like if you think of a box of like how high up does it travel versus how like low does it travel, it stays kind of within this, we don't push it too far one way or the other. It's all it's going to work really well for, if you're on the dance floor, this comes on, you're not going to like stretch your ears in any uncomfortable way because it's going to really support with the beat. The chord progression feels good. And, it just like the music science of it, it just kind of makes sense why it is flowing the way it's flowing. Those callbacks were cool. Yeah, there was like borderline. It's almost some intonation issues there, but it like fits so well because it has like this like echo kind of call and response quality. Let's just go back. Oh, that's 145. Let's go back to like 135. That's fun to listen to. Plus, like the visual side, I'm like, what am I looking at? This is so cool. Here and that's groovy, man. It works out really well. It really sounds like it though, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, man. Okay, that is cool as hell. Like, that's not complicated. Like, but it's cool though. Like that for me, like that kind of stuff, it just hits really well because if you're on stage playing this and you know the keyboard player is jamming that line out, like if you're like playing bass with that, you're like, dude, come on, man, let's go. Like, I don't know. I mean, again, it's subjective. Not everyone will think that's cool. I think it's cool. It's just fun. And I think it's pretty obviously meant to be a fun song, you know. Oh, she fell out of the monitor. Similarities, some stuff we heard before. Different vocal line though. The halftime groove feels different on the pre-chorus build. Small differences. Oh, muted, palm muted guitar. Ooh. Sick, dude. Nice fade into the bridge. Hell yeah. Let's go. Oh, this is gorgeous. Listen how different that guitar part feels. Oh, we gotta hit stop there. We went a minute. Okay, so this is a cool thing. Sometimes when you get layers removed, I was like, oh, whoa, that almost feels like nylon string guitar. Versus when I was like, oh, it's definitely a synth. Maybe we're definitely wrong in the beginning now. Well, not definitely, but potentially. But sometimes when music is like just ingredients and like a sandwich. There's so many layers. Certain things when they stack together with sound is kind of like how things taste when you put them together with ingredients. And when you remove them, those tastes can be a lot more like, oh, apparently, like, oh, I can really taste the pickle now or whatever. But let's go back into this and check out this verse again. So already with the way that line ascended and then descended and the breathy tone ending, that's already a variance from what we had the first time. So variety is important. That sounds killer. I love hearing the low end, the lower tone of her voice and how breathy it gets and still nice and in tune. But this part, we just get way more of a halftime groove. Even though that descending bass thing we talked about already, it's all the same, but it just feels a little bit different with that variety. And we say it's like cliche at this point. I say it all the time. You already know variety is the spice of life, but it really is, especially in music, because trust me, the producers, the folks that design, the track that's going to go along with the song, they don't have to do these little things, but it's nice that they do because often you don't get that and there's no variety, especially in like Western pop music. It's like, oh my God, man. Like, could you try any less? Like, it just makes some effort. So when you hear this, like the song itself, like you could sit down, like musicians, you hear this, you should be able to jam it out after first listen. It's like, cool. We know where it's at. We know what key it's in. We know what we're going to do musically, but it's all those little intricacies that make it super interesting for the musicians to go in and play because like, oh yeah, that's like fun. You just add these little tasteful elements and that's what makes, some music better music. If that makes sense, you don't have to throw all these ingredients in, but when they're there, even if they're subtle, it definitely just kind of ups the value. Yeah, the background keyboards sound different when they're exposed a little more. And there's the palm, you know what? Maybe that was there before. I just didn't catch it, but I definitely am hearing some palm muted guitar now. And it feels really good with this build that I feel like we push right into the bridge right here. We'll let it go. Yeah, that's cool. So it's fun to take that as we ascend with that melodic figure, and it's going to drop into the melody that's going to be used on the bridge here with our different chord progressions. That's, it's really nice, man. Obviously, the beat is switched up a little bit too. That was cool. I feel like there was way more active synth or guitar related stuff on the left side. That's 250. Let's go back to 235. Just kind of listen over on the left side if you can. It's cool because there's also some stuff on the right side that it's mixed way down, but it really enhances what's happening. That is cool. A little keyboard ostinato. These parts were all there. It feels like this was there before, but now we've removed some of those layers that were dynamically like more superior, so you can kind of hear it here. So what I feel like some of that stuff I thought was synth really feels like acoustic guitar. Oh, it sounds so good though. You can just nerd out listening to that. Look at the visuals. My God, dude. Now it's real bit. Wow. Cool. And now we got some variety in that lick, dude. All right. Cool. It's like way more distorted feeling. What a cool song to make a comeback with. Hold on, let's just make sure that there's not more. We got some credits here. Yeah, man, that was cool. Like, I mean, obviously, you know, when you do music like this, it's more of an exercise in active listening. But the cool thing is it just enhances your senses. Like, the more you listen away from the kind of, you know, obviously predominant like melodic lines, like the vocal line is clearly the most important line, but listen how much was down there below. Like, and even on those like 3 listens we did, that's not enough. We could go in, if we could fade down her vocal line, you could hear all those keyboard and guitar lines and stuff that was happening. So much cool stuff. So ideally, when you go back and you do this and you do just listen, you know, back front to back, and you don't stop, you'll just pick up more things on those listens. So that was pretty cool. My name is DrumRollTony. Catch me when I'm live on Twitch. You can find a link to my socials down in the video description below. Please and thank you. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel so you can catch the next video. I appreciate you being here. YouTube thinks you want to watch one of these 2 videos next. Have a great day. Take it easy. Bye-bye.